So you think you're staying active, but is your hobby actually good for your health? Or does it just feel healthy? Well, let's break it down. Hi, I'm Caroline, a mom, a surfer, and a certified personal trainer. Today I want to look at a few popular hobbies and go through them using simple criteria: calories burned, fat loss impact, overall benefit for health, and the real injury risks nobody talks about. You might be surprised where your favorite hobby actually stands. Let's start with hiking. It seems pretty straightforward, but physiologically it outperforms the treadmill more often than people expect. At the same walking speed, hikers usually show a higher heart rate because the body has to handle uneven terrain, constant balance correction, elevation, and more stabilizing muscles engaged. That combination often makes hiking more efficient for fat loss than the same pace indoors. However, the biggest risk isn't the trail itself, it's the shoes. About 70% of hiking-related injuries come down to improper footwear, lack of ankle support, worn-out soles, or running shoes used on technical terrain. Most people blame steep climbs, but in reality, it's usually a rolled ankle from the wrong shoe choice. Burns more energy than steady treadmill walking thanks to elevation and stabilizer activation. High rate of preventable injuries due to poor footwear and unstable terrain. Gardening looks gentle, but it consistently shows up in long-term health data for a reason. There is a well-known study showing that regular gardening lowered the risk of dementia by about 36%. And it's not because gardeners are lifting heavy weights, it's the mix of fresh air, fine motor work, and regular sunlight exposure that seems to support cognitive health. Strength-wise, gardening also builds more grip strength than most people realize. Pulling roots, carrying pots, twisting, grabbing tools, all of this mimics light resistance work. In older women, grip and forearm strength improvements from gardening were measured almost on par with elastic band workouts. And here's a surprising one. All that bending, squatting, getting up and down from the ground, it regulates post-meal blood sugar almost as effectively as a 20-minute walk because those small repeated movements use multiple muscle groups. Strong effects on long-term brain health and grip strength, gentle but meaningful activity for metabolic health. Offers limited cardiovascular challenge. Intensity is inconsistent and depends heavily on how physically involved the tasks are. Pilates isn't famous for calorie burn, and that's accurate. Most classes barely touch the energy expenditure of cardio, but what Pilates does do extremely well is lower cortisol. And when cortisol drops, the body holds less water, posture improves, and muscles look more defined even without a huge calorie deficit. That's why people who stick with Pilates often look toned without doing high-intensity training. It's also one of the safest training environments: controlled movements, slow tempo, no impact. Because it doesn't create a major cardiovascular or metabolic challenge, you won't see much fat loss from Pilates alone unless your diet is already dialed in. Strong impact on posture, stability, and cortisol regulation makes your body feel and look better. Very low calorie burn, not enough on its own for fat loss or muscle gain. Strength training. Strength training remains the gold standard for aging well. After around age of 30, women lose roughly 3 to 8% of muscle mass every decade unless they use resistance training. Strength workouts are especially the only type of exercise that directly protects bones, hormones, and metabolic rate as we age. And the joint protection benefits are real. Muscles act like an armor system. The stronger the muscles surrounding your knees, hips, and spine, the less stress hits the joints themselves. That's why women who strength train consistently report fewer knee issues, fewer back flare-ups, and better mobility. There's mental health data too. Strength training has been shown to reduce anxiety levels by roughly 20 to 30%, with an effect size comparable to light psychotherapy for mild anxiety. People genuinely feel more stable and grounded. The most effective anti-aging tool protects muscles, bones, joints, and metabolic health. Higher learning curve, poor form or ego lifting increases injury risk. The last one, surfing looks like an action sport, but most of the time you aren't riding waves, you're paddling. And paddling is essentially low intensity, steady state cardio disguised as fun. Because you're constantly moving, your body stays in a fat burning zone for long stretches without even realizing it. Add the cold water, the full body engagement, and the ocean conditions that change every minute, and you get one of the most energy consuming, relaxing sports out there. Surfing has its downside, it's extremely upper body dominant, and if you surf a lot without cross training, your shoulders can get overworked. Many surfers lack posture chain strength, which leads to back tightness and shoulder impingement over time. Excellent low-intensity cardio that burns a surprising amount of energy without feeling like exercise. High shoulder load and repetitive paddling movements require strength training to avoid overuse injuries. Every hobby has its own benefits and its own blind spots. The goal isn't to choose the perfect one, it's to understand what your hobby actually gives your body and what it doesn't. And if you want a healthy, balanced routine, pairing your favorite activity with a little bit of strength training is usually the simplest fix. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe. I'll talk about more hobbies in my next videos. Let me know in the comments what your favorite activity is, and I'll cover it in my next videos.